So let's start our next one. Hello YouTube, welcome back to another game of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. This of course is going to be game number 2 between HuK and MaNa. We are currently going to be on Prion Terraces. Our giveaway is still continuing. I'm not quite sure if by the time you see this it's going to be over or not, but I'm figuring out exactly how to run that giveaway to make it fair for everybody right now. So shortly jumping into our game. Of course, if you haven't seen the previous games, I really recommend clicking on the links in the description, where you will be able to watch all the previous games and of course any future games if you have already seen this one. So let's jump into our game. Scores, by the way, going to be displayed at about 1 minute as per custom on my channel. So of course, as I said, if you haven't seen the previous ones, don't spoil yourself. Don't start at the beginning of the tournament, or rather the series. So let's see, on the top left hand side here, we've got ourselves EG's HuK. That's Evil Geniuses, and he's from Canada/US. His opponent, of course, is MaNa, who's in Team Liquid, and he's from Poland. Let's see how this game plays out. It's a Protoss versus Protoss. It's on a super aggressive map with a gold opening at the very beginning. So this, of course, is something that we definitely need to watch out for. It can give some pretty interesting plays, and I think this was exactly what Blizzard wanted to do. Just make a bunch of aggression on this map. Now, another natural map where you have a lot of aggression early on is Arena, for obvious reasons. The rush distance is super short, so people decide to build rushing builds, for example. Starting off with something like a 14 gate, 14 gas, 14 pool on a Zerg. Something about pausing. Okay, so they paused the game there. Luckily, we don't have to watch that or wait for that. So it looks like a much more standard game coming out of both of our players here. Both actually opting to go for double gases as well. So this, of course, is pretty standard. Something that we see quite often. In fact, we pretty much see it all the time. I mean, starting off with a Stargate on Protoss is so common these days. But looks like MaNa's actually opted to go for the expansion at the start. So this, I honestly don't know if it's a good idea for him. I mean, probably is. I mean, HuK is doing the opposite, so they're pretty much swapping roles of what exactly they did in the previous game. HuK is building a bunch of aggressive units. MaNa is trying to macro up. It's all going to be about the scouting. So it looks like the Mothership Core just going around seeing if there's any proxies in this one, just in case HuK decides to do exactly what he did last time and just proxy him, which is actually very common. I mean, typically you see the Stargate over here because it's kind of out of the way of everything. And here we go. We got ourselves a pylon over here. Probably going to use this to warp in extra reinforcements. This probe has been put down here. This, by the way, is probably going to be used for overcharge purposes, of course, unless it gets destroyed. The range of this would be quite nice. Oh, those stalkers almost getting caught in there. Gonna want to cancel that off. And of course, oh, looks like the second one is actually quite well in range of pretty much all of the attacking units here. So definitely gonna have to be careful not to lose that too fast. Overcharge is ready. It is being put down pretty much immediately as well. Not quite sure if it's as useful for putting it down on the gateway, but you know, these are the pros. Of course, HuK, you know what, if he manages to take out this gateway, I thought he wouldn't get that much damage done on it, but if he does, that could play quite well for him. I mean, that reduces the production capabilities of MaNa, and he's just lost that gateway, so currently being put on just one gateway. Whereas HuK is currently on 2, and he's also got himself an Oracle on the way. Now this Oracle could potentially do quite a lot of damage because there is an imminent threat over here. It's just 2 Stalkers and of course the Mothership Core, which, you know, it's not going to really do that much. But these Adepts causing a bit of havoc here. 4 probes have been taken out with those. Oh no, the 2 Stalkers getting caught out. This is not good at all. Losing a few of those units. There is the Oracle coming out the back here. Let's see what he does with it. Now there has been a transfer from here to the gold base, so not going to get a whole lot done, as much as he'd like at least. But he's already picking off a few workers. 4 kills already. And currently at 5, so almost paying for itself at this point. Oracles, of course, at about 6 kills will make it worth it, and there it is. So that pretty much paid for itself at this point. And look at HuK's economy. He's got 30 workers to 19. He's just outplaying his opponents so heavily right now. Now, just to note, both of these players are, of course, pro. So HuK on EG, MaNa on Team Liquid. Team Liquid, of course, probably one of the most popular teams right now, with players such as Liquid TLO, who is, I would say, the most famous and most liked player, despite the fact that he's not. I wouldn't really consider him the top, highest, best player. That was really badly phrased. I wouldn't consider him the best player in the world, or probably even maybe even the top 5, but he's definitely someone who's really liked. He has good manners, he's super friendly, and he always retweets my tweets. So it's pretty awesome to have people like that. I mean, shouldn't even be talking about TLO in a game like this because it's HuK versus MaNa, but I thought I would give TLO an honorable mention because even though he's not the best player out there, he is super cool, super awesome, and super friendly. So let's see. Unbuildable bricks. I thought they were called destructible rocks, but that looks like that might be the bigger ones, which are usually blocking ramps and such in maps. So it looks like HuK has backed off a little bit with his aggression. He's got only 14 army supply to MaNa's 23. So that's kind of interesting. Let's see, War Prism here with 1 Immortal and 2 Stalkers. Let's see what he does with it. This 1 Phoenix, I assume that he's gonna think that this is indeed a hallucination. It did die pretty fast, so it would kind of give away that this is indeed a hallucination. So 2 base versus 3 base. HuK is establishing his 3rd base right now, so this is quite good. This is exactly what he wants to do right now. Get his economy ahead. What is going on here? Looks like, oh, that's actually the drop. So the Immortal and the Stalker being put down here. Oh no, this could shut down something. So it looks like he's managed to deny the blink for the Stalkers for a little bit. But as you can see here, HuK is, or MaNa was ahead on his blink anyway. So he will have that first regardless. The only thing that I can see that this did really well on is also denying the 2 Stargates for a short amount of time. So MaNa is quickly catching up in terms of both army supply and worker count. I mean, it's very close. It's neck and neck right now. The only thing that I have to say is a big advantage for HuK is that he does have his 3rd base already established and ready to produce drones. Or probes rather. I keep... You know what? I don't even care anymore. I always call drones or probes drones, and I call drones... I call them drones because, you know, the flying drones with the remote control. A lot of people have them these days, and they're mechanical units, and these probes remind me of drones themselves. So yeah, don't mind the fact that I miscall these things every now and then. It's quite standard. I always do it, and those of you who have been with me for a lot longer at this point will already know that this is something that I do quite often. So let's see, blinks are about to be completed. This is going to be where all the action comes out. Army supply is favouring HuK a little bit. He's got about 15 supply more. Let's have a look where the discrepancy is. Looks like 3 extra sentries, 5 extra Stalkers, and the same amount of Immortals. So that's actually quite good. I mean, he's doing better on Stalker and Sentry count, which are of course the micro heavy units. Oh no, the HuK blink moving straight in there, not afraid at all. He's got Immortals in the front. Unfortunately, the Sentries also probably not the best choices, but he has surrounded this poor little Immortal sitting in the corner here, getting destroyed by these Stalkers, and he has come out on top quite nicely here. 21 army supply difference, and GG has been called. HuK taking game number 2. Was there a GG called? Yes, there was. Well done, MaNa. Do not leave with rage, because that is bad sportsmanship. I hope you've enjoyed this game. Don't forget, of course, to leave it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for joining me in this game, and of course making it all the way to the end. I will see you guys in game number 3. where we will see the outcome of this match. By the way, I forgot to bring up the score. It was actually 1-0 in favor of HuK. That is a little bit unfortunate. I do apologize about that, but I will have the scores displaying in the next one. Good luck, take care, and I will see you guys in the next one.